Going to be doing an oil change on a 2018 GMC Terrain. This will be the same for 2018 to 2021. The engine's warm, drove it around a little bit. It's easiest to do it when the oil is warm. So first thing, pop your oil fill. You can also pop the dipstick. If you're really thin, you might be able to get under there, but I usually jack it up. All right, so the location of your oil pan. It's right there, your oil filter. It's up really close to the passenger side. This is a 15 millimeter to drain the oil pan. It's also got, let's see if I can show you that. It's also got a Torx bit in there. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do, you wanna get your oil pan, make sure you got it lined up. You're gonna probably wanna hold this shroud back as the majority of it comes out, and then we'll let the jack down to make sure we get the rest of the oil out of this oil pan. All right, and then as it slows down, that's when we know we can let the jack down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna clean off this, make sure there's no debris or anything stuck around this O-ring. And then this is actually, it's a T40. If this gets rounded off, you can see it's been rounded off a little bit, probably from being over tightened in there. You can use the T40 to try to get it out. Now I got to get our oil filter off. Put the oil pan directly underneath. Should just be hand tight. The best trick for getting a stuck filter off is, I mean, if you know you got to change the filter and you've already drained the oil out, getting a pair of channel lock pliers and grabbing right around the bottom here and slowly trying to turn it. You'll slightly crush the filter, but if you have to get it off anyways, you can mess around with filter wrenches and half of them don't work anyways. So just get a pair of pliers and slowly pry this off, and I've had it work every single time. So now that we took the old oil filter off and we're letting that finish draining, we're just gonna get some of the new oil. Gonna put it on this O-ring gasket. Make sure the old gasket came off with the old filter. Before we put the new filter back on, what we're gonna do, go up with an old rag or something, clean out around this. Make sure all the threads and everything are clean. Then we're gonna take our new filter, install it. It only needs to be hand tight. It's always good to double check. Make sure your filter is tight. Make sure your 15 millimeter or your T40, you tighten down that bolt. Then you'll be good to get it down off the jack, and we'll fill it back up with oil. Now's the easy part. Just take the fill cap out, put a clean funnel in, and then it should be just about 5 quarts even. Now that you've got a full 5 quarts in, just check the level, just to make sure. You got a clean rag. Dip it all the way down, and then As you can see on this, it is actually completely full. So what we'll do, we're gonna run it, double check, and then usually it brings it down right to the top of the line with 5 quarts. So after you let the engine run for a minute, and then let the engine sit for a second, check that level again. And as you can see, that's right up at the top of that line, which is perfect. So 5 quarts exactly does it. I think it says 5.2 or 5.4 if you were to look it up. The last thing we'll do, as always, start up the car. We're gonna need to go in to our settings. Go down to the oil with the arrow buttons and then press the check mark down, and that will reset your oil life.